I got another clone for you. Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Today, we're going to be taking a look at one of the best clone fragrances that I've smelled over the past, ever. Yeah, legitimately, it's that good. It's a clone of one of the most popular hype beast niche fragrances out there. No, not Aventus, but Layton from Parfums de Marly. So let's jump into it and let's check out another clone. Yeah, clones. I'll tell you, they get old. You just don't want to hear about another clone a lot of times, especially when it's an Aventus one. You just go, oh God. There's enough, man. There's enough clones. I don't care. Actually, one of you guys reached out to me and told me to check this one out, and then if I liked it, to let everybody know. So shout out to you. You know who you are. And yeah, I do like it. So the clone that we're talking about today is from Haramain, and it's called Detour Noir. Like I said, clones can get old, but every once in a while you smell a new clone that pulls it off so well for the price point, you just think to yourself, how'd they do that? First off, let's check out the presentation really quickly of Detour Noir, and then we'll delve deeper into the fragrance itself. First up, a look at the box. It's shiny. You've got the name of the house, name of the fragrance, size and concentration on the front. It's an eau de parfum, 100 ml size. Up at the top, Haramain. On the side, just says Detour, and the back looks the same as the front. On the bottom, you're gonna find your batch code and your ingredients. And here is the bottle. And it is terrible looking. This thing is atrocious. I hate it. Yeah, I hate it a lot. So it has this weird curvature to it. Not sure what to make of it. Maybe it's supposed to look like somebody sticking their beer belly out? A pregnant lady? I'm not sure. But it has this curvature to it. You've got the name of the house, name of the fragrance on the front. Looks really cheap. And then the cap, also mega cheap. So this thing, when you pull it off, makes that weird suction noise. And every time I pull this off, it feels like the collar is just gonna come right off with it. Like it doesn't feel well put together. Then on the bottom it says all Haramain. And the atomizer on this thing is pretty cheap too, so check this out. It puts out a good amount of fragrance, but it doesn't really feel good. It feels cheap, like I said, flimsy. So the presentation, it's not good. It's not good. One thing about this fragrance that's been a little bit strange is it's not been super easy to find in the US. It's not been at any major discounters until now. FragranceBuy.ca has some. Link them in the description if you want to check it out there. And also a couple sellers on eBay have it for a little bit of a higher price, but they've only got like 5 in stock last time I checked. So now before we dive headlong into the fragrance Detour Noir, a little bit of a clarification. So if you look this fragrance up on Fragrantica or Parfumo or Haramain's own website, the note breakdown is not at all how this fragrance smells. So if you look up the note breakdown for this fragrance on Fragrantica or any of the other sites I just talked about, it is really similar to another Parfums de Marly fragrance, which is this one, Pegasus. So looking at that note breakdown, you would think, oh, well, this is a clone of Pegasus, which might make sense for Haramain to do one because Armaf has a Pegasus clone called Craze. So you would think, okay, Haramain is just doing what Armaf has already done, because that happens a lot. You know, Haramain will clone a fragrance that Armaf has already cloned, and everybody's cloning the same stuff. It happens. And yet, that note breakdown is not correct. Not to me at all, even though it's on Haramain's own website. To me, it reads like somebody there screwed up, put in the wrong note breakdown, and just said, I'll just leave it. I don't want to go on a website and change stuff, man. That could take 5 minutes. No way. It does appear completely incorrect, though. This fragrance does not smell like Pegasus at all, just to be clear, and the note breakdown is wrong. And some websites actually have a different note breakdown for this fragrance, which is closer to Layton. So there we go. With that out of the way, Detour Noir, finally. How close is it to Layton? How good is it actually? Let me put it to you this way. I'm not the biggest fan of using a description for a cologne saying, hey, this is 95% similar to the original. I don't really like that because can you really tell what percentage it is to the original? Not really, but in this circumstance, somebody comes up and says, hey man, that's 90% similar to Layton, 95. I would say, yeah, pretty much. The opening of Detour Noir is the worst part. And when I say the opening, I mean just the first 2 or 3 minutes. So it's not really the opening, it's just that initial salvo that you pick up. It's like the notes aren't quite working together in harmony yet. You get a little bit of that alcohol tinge that sometimes you'll pick up from cologne fragrances, but it settles in really fast. Like I said, legitimately 2 to 3 minutes, and then you are golden. And the best part about this fragrance, or one of the best parts, is it smells equally good off a tester strip as on your skin. Sometimes with cologne fragrances or fragrances in general, they'll smell great off a strip. Smell it and you'll go, oh man, that's amazing, you know? And you spray it on your skin and you go, actually kind of sucks. But no, this one, gravy the whole way through. In the opening, you've got that cardamom, really a quite forward, warm, spicy, sexy cardamom, just like you find in Layton, along with vanilla enveloping the entire thing. You got sandalwood as the fragrance dries down, little touch of lavender. It's done really well. And of course, you've got that little bit of freshness, that touch of apple in the opening, a little spritz of citrus. So when you first spray it on, after it settles, you got this warmth, this sweetness, this spiciness, all working together perfectly. And you would never, ever in a million years expect it. Because when you look at this presentation, it looks like garbage. It looks like a really cheap throwaway piece of crap cologne that they invested no time or energy into. And there have been some horrible cologne fragrances that I've smelled before. I'm talking complete trash. Smelling like Windex, like floor cleaner, just horrible stuff. So with these cologne brands, Armaf, Haramain, etc., they run the whole gamut. You know, they run from bottom of the barrel, absolute gutter trash fragrances to fragrances that cost you $30, $35 and smell like they cost $250 or $300. And this one, it's over on that side. I know it might sound like I'm overselling it or something, but it's really that surprisingly good. In the air, this smells so close to Layton that most people will never be able to tell the difference. Now, sure, if you spray them on side by side and you do this deal, back and forth, you can tell. One of them's obviously more expensive. One of them's obviously higher quality in terms of the ingredients. This one, in case you're unaware of which one I'm talking about. But if you don't have this directly side by side to compare with this, it's hard to pick out many differences. Put it to you like this, as far as just being a clone fragrance and getting it close to the original, not really a twist, because there are a lot of clones that are kind of like that fragrance that they're cloning, but given a tweak and a change to make it a little bit different. Like Club de Nuit Intense Man, that doesn't smell exactly like Aventus. It's like Aventus with a little twist. But as far as clone fragrances trying to directly emulate the fragrance that they're cloning, this one from houses like Armaf, Afnan, Al Haramain, Ray and Tradition, all those Rasasi, all those major clone houses, this one's got to be in the top 3 best I've ever smelled. After that initial blast, once it settles, it's lights out. Now let's talk about the projection, the longevity, all that stuff. Projection is very good for the first couple hours, especially off a tester strip, or even just if you kind of spray it on your hand and you forget it's there, you'll just keep picking up wafts You know, if you're sitting at your desk or something like that, you'll just keep catching those wafts and it smells awesome. And then longevity, you're looking at about seven hours or so, 7 to 8. Maybe not quite as good as Layton, but not that far off. Goes without saying, when would you wear this? Same times you'd wear Layton. So more fall, wintertime fragrance, daytime or nighttime, huge versatility. And it does have, of course, that compliment factor because it's ripping off Layton in such a close way. It just absolutely copied Layton's homework, changed a few answers, and then was like, haha, I'm gonna turn this in. So that's pretty much it. Detour Noir, in spite of the packaging being horrific, in spite of all Haramain not even getting the note breakdown correct and not even bothering to give it a unique write-up and not really trying to get it out there as best as I can tell, is, in my estimation, the best Layton fragrance that you can get, clone, alternative, whatever you want to call it, at about 10% the price of Layton. 10 to 15%, whatever. Main things you're gonna pick up from it: apple, lavender, vanilla, cardamom, sandalwood, little bits of spice. It's really well done. It's nuts, frankly. Because when I got this in, I thought, oh boy, this is gonna be bad. I mean, the first time I pulled this up, the whole collar kind of shook like it was trying to come undone. Like I mentioned before, it's not a fragrance to make a good first impression until you spray this on. And it would not surprise me to see Armaf come out with their own version at some point in the near future too. If I find any other awesome clones, I'll bring them to you. If I find any that are really super trash, I guess I'll bring those to you too, so you know to stay away from them. But this one's a winner. All right, guys, that's doing it for me. Haramain Detour Noir. You want Layton on the cheap, that's your fragrance. I'm out, guys. Stay safe out there, and thanks for the support. See you again tomorrow.